Energy waves. Got you on Twitch. You know what? Let's just get moving. Tired of sitting here waiting for times. Oh, they're my nemesis. Good morning, my friends. Hello and welcome to this week's Honey Lodge. My name is Jackson Beard. If we haven't met before, then the heck are you doing with your life? Jeez, come on. Glad to have you all here. Kind of excited about today. We're doing something a little bit different. It's hard to pull myself away from Emerald Coast. It truly is. So I'm going to keep the Australian outfit. We're doing it. We're going to rock this bad boy all over the place. And we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to go take a look at arguably one of the low-key best features to come with the last update. The first of half of our little look-see. We're going to go look at the Plains Bison. If we have time, maybe we'll jump over to Hirsch. But right now, we are on SRP. Come on, Silver Ridge Peaks, baby. It's still one of the absolute best reserves in game. We might go from here to Hirsch, we might go to Yukon, but if you're looking for these beasts of burden, they are absolutely plentiful and fun to tango with. I highly recommend taking a showstopper, and what do we mean by that? A little bit of self-defense. Oh, I forgot to change my faceplate on my mouse. I'm sitting here trying to push buttons, and buttons aren't working. I like to bring always my spray. I hit the wrong buttons. Yeah, If you're tangoing with the Bentang, you probably got pretty up close and cozy with the Sunberg. Everybody's got it. It was a gift from our devs. So yeah, good to bring along regardless of your ammo type. But I do also have with me today, I brought the 22, because you never know when you need to spook something to get it to look up, or you want to shoot a turkey, skeet, that sort of thing. Of course, I brought the 22 250. Just in case we want to shoot a springbok. I got true racks on my brain. A pronghorn? Maybe. We'll see. We're going to focus pretty hard on the bison. And I've got the Saguri. I have a, come on now. Sarugi 338. It is a beast. It is absolutely my go-to for the big boomsticks in game. It really doesn't get much bigger with any more stopping power. The 300 is a very, very close second and extremely feasible. And really, it comes down to preference. Well, my preference today is to rock it out with that bad boy. So let's just get a few callers up here. There it is. There's my loadout. I should actually show you. One of the things I love, and before we get going, here, let me jump in here. I love playing with loadouts, as I know a lot of you do too. It's that kind of inventory management. Now, let's face it, we're not going to do this IRL. I am not going to go and jump in with 4 guns into the bush. It just doesn't happen IRL, but this is the game, and we have that balance and the fun stuff. And inventory management's kind of fun. I do enjoy the different builds that I like to play with, that I see our creators and our players getting really creative with. Because let's face it, we have some cool options now with the 243 handgun. That opens up some weight. Some of the weapons, they fit real nice together. So I would love to see in the Discord what your favorite loadouts are. If you want to put them together, maybe we should start a thread. I would just love to see what people are using these days and how creative some of you can be, because it really does kind of change your hunt. So let's have some fun with this. All right. First off, let me make sure someone just reminded me about ammo, and did I have enough of thy ammo? 42 is arguably enough. Let's just grab a few more for the 338, because, if you've ever hunted bison, buffalo, aka beefalo, you can run down a whole herd, and so things can get a little bit crazy. They are no slouch, and they're not cheap. 1,050 makes them, we'll take 62, and that's how we do. Good morning, everybody. So good to see you. I was picking up those vibes. I felt a need somehow that we had to stream this morning. I got you. But yes, we are here every single week, every Tuesday for the hunt, every Wednesday for the fish. And it's always good times. Love having you all out. Thank you for making these streams what they are, you guys. Okay. How are we doing? Lady Legend, good to see you. How are you, my friend? How are you? Out there crushing it, I'm sure. Did you see your suggested official server for the Euro Bison? Great one. Luke, I'm not even sure if it was yours I saw. I have seen some. And they're quite. I love what the community gets behind, and I love it when they get behind other ideas. It's very. We have a creative community. Let's face it. And as far as a great one, bison. I mean, let's be real. If there is a species that's crying for it right now, I think it's the bison. There's just this incredible aura about them when you really get into hunting these bad boys. And they're a lot of fun. Although, now I'm not going to be picky today. You know, I'm not going to be picky. We are going to, we're going to drop some females. We're going to drop some males, big and small, short and tall, just to get a look at everything and pick up some zones along the way here too while we're at it. You know, the scoring on these guys has become very interesting. And I know a lot of our community has seen this. I've picked up on a lot of the chatter, especially through the Discord and Facebook groups, talking a lot about, you know, how the scoring has changed. It's not just the scoring. When you look at the true racks themselves and what that's gone through, there's some really, really neat varieties. And the designs on it, the ribbing on the horns, I truly think that although these aren't one of the flashiest, like they're, you know, we're not looking at a Cape Buffalo here. Okay, I get it. We don't have these monster. This isn't a Longhorn in our midst, but they are impressive nonetheless. And when you get the big chunky horns on them, you know, and here's the other thing, and I want to touch base on, because we saw 2 new true racks. Well, I guess technically 3 come with this last update. We had the Euro Bison and the Plains Bison, and we had the Springboks. Those Spring Boys, we're going to cover those on another stream. It's a scenario of legacy versus, I don't want to use the term realism, but in all of my research, they look more accurate now. So I haven't directly asked our team if that was their focus, but I do believe it was, as we've seen that happen with, say, the Blacktail. They wanted to bring it into a more less outlandish look. Although, let's face it, man, when we're talking blacktails, I really do miss those legacy racks. They were large and charged and super impressive. And we saw that actually with the Spring Boys. They had a very, they were too big. We heard a lot of feedback from a lot of our hunters that live in Africa. We have quite the community that has sprung up behind the game that legitimately hunts the Springbok, and to hear their opinions and such, I'm sure that had a bit to do with what their choices were. So, you know, looking at the females and looking at the males, we don't have a good comparison in this group, but like, they just look great, don't they? Now you gotta be patient with these. Good shots, bad shots. These things, they're dang near bulletproof at times. They have the ability to shrug shots off like no other species in the game. So you really have to pick them. I kind of want to do two things with this stream. I want to push the 338 around a little bit and see how we do, purposely going through heavy meat. You know, picking a bad line, purposely going through the shoulder instead of looking for that sweet spot. As we all know, there's that sweet spot. I should have brought the 7mm as well, because I wanted to go from one extreme to the other. 7mm, you know, being probably the least hitting weapon that's ethical for them. Maybe the 4570. But yeah, nonetheless, let's take a peek. I'm missing so much chat, you guys. Good morning to Germany. Hello, and welcome, my friend. Good to have your Mike Angel. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Kyla's in the house. What's happening, Kyla? How's it going? How cool to be to have a great one bison with a storyline tying them into Americans, possibly like wounded with spears and longbows and arrows. I mean, yeah, that would be kind of cool, but that may put things in a controversial light. I don't know. Maybe that's just me overthinking things. Would be cool though, Zach. You know what? You're right. Having some backstory would be a really, really cool thing. Like what we have in the Angler, right? There's big backstory behind the legendary fish over there, which, like, you can tell they ran away with that one. They had way too much fun. Okay, well, this looks like a good opportunity to try and go through the thickness and see how it goes. Not so confident with this shot, but let's make it happen, Cabin. Okay, so he's out there. We'll zero him in for 300, and we'll just we'll give her a little love right in the nook of the shoulder to make sure we catch one lung. We should get a one long after. I'm not going to put a follow in. Let's see what we got for drop time here. Wasn't anything else hiding in there, was there? Oh, we did have a male. We had a 3 right there. Let's see what he does. We might give him a chance to turn around. Right now, Joe Curlroy, we are on Silver Ridge Peaks. Good old SRP. It is a crowd favorite. And honestly, right in the sweet spot. Still one of my favorite reserves. Very immersive. Has a really nice flow to it. What do I mean by flow? Because I talk about this a lot. I get into the nitty gritty with the mats. Flow in how you move through the different areas, through the different home ranges. A lot of us like to focus on drink times on the older reserves. You know, you can see now with the newest reserve, Emerald Coast, it's just as feasible to go and hunt at feeding times. Rest time, yes, but resting, they're laying down, and sometimes it's a pain to hit it in that right spot. But you know, with these older reserves, I can't believe I'm saying older reserves. It doesn't feel like SRP's been out that long. It has been a focus for a lot of folks. So it's got a really nice flow. When you move around the reserve, you really feel it. Yes, I know this one's not fully unlocked. This is like my 11th restart, and with all my restarts, I stop hitting all the towers. I know where everything is. I should go through and unlock all the towers though. Look at these guys up here. Yeah, I know you're just up over that hill, Proggy. They're giving me the gears. So we got 2 on the ground over here. We'll go take a look, see what they are. We should have more bison out in the fields. Was this the same group? Just moving off. Now, let me talk about something else here before I stop missing so much chat. It is scrolling. I can see it out the corner of my eye. Stop looking at the prongies. You were not here for the... Although we might take one. It's hard not to. It's really hard not to. They're really good money, by the way. You will notice that the female bison score really high now. I have been not quite assaulted, not overwhelmed, but I have had a lot of interest from our community asking me if by chance they can or cannot make diamond, because we do know there are female species that can make diamond. Look at these guys. They may come back. Let's let them settle while we pick these 2 up and see what they do. They're almost at the end of their nervous energy, so hopefully they turn around and come back this way. So what I will tell you, and I've told our creators this and a few other folks, and I wanted to check on this because I didn't want people banging their heads, going on these endless grinds trying to get a female bison diamond. Unfortunately, they just won't make it, but they do get very big, and I would love to see the biggest that you can get out there. And let's get it in Discord. Tag me if you get a big girl. Deer feeders and trucks in the future. Now that's a heck of a mix, my friend. Deer feeders and trucks. We're a little glowy, aren't we? Pow! I would love deer feeders. I would love feeders of all types. I think that there is a nice space in our game for that. These are all things, again, it really comes down to player interest. And what we've really shifted to, and you guys have heard me talk about this a lot, we have tried to... I'm really big on there, aren't I? I'm not really digging that. Hold on. Let me make myself a little smaller because this isn't about me. Let's make it small. There we go. I'm not changing the rest. We'll just go ahead and center that a little bit. Oh, we'll give it a spin. Okay, we'll go ahead and center that right there. We have taken a big focus on Discord because we find that Discord offers us this incredible it's a resource. We can get direct feedback that's almost as valuable, maybe even more valuable than these streams. See, what I love about these streams is getting it straight from you guys, getting the honest feedback and really getting the feel for things. But Discord is, with their forums, have opened it right up for us. And it is very unique. So get in there with your ideas, but not just that, read through and support the other posts that are already there. We monitor these. If something's got 2 upvotes, it's not going to get the same attention as something with 2,000. For the record, we haven't hit any 2,000 upvotes yet. that's on you. All right, let's take a look. They look pretty good now. They do look pretty good. It's very interesting. It's very interesting with these true racks now. First off, this is one of my favorite things. This is one of my favorite things, you guys. I'm sorry I'm missing so much chat, but I want to get through some of this first. I love the little detail that we now have in their horns, and we'll look at it more on the males later. But like you can almost see the ribbing, right? And the ribbing's like, I describe ribbing. Ribbing's like like rings on a tree. Like rings on a tree, you can tell the age, right? So that's what you see with a ribbing on an animal, specifically those with horns. And seeing this, it's very, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I dig it an awful lot. So let's see if we can get just another look. So we're just gonna inspect them a little, a little discoloration. But these are just the females, right? It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead. 617 bones in your pocket. It ain't a whole lot, but it's enough if you're going to run down a herd that it gets pretty impressive. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Did those guys decide to come back? We may have to bounce an area and move around a little because we have seen the difference in behaviors, but they are just sitting. Okay. Yeah, we've installed some water fountains up in the tree line here. Yep. We might get a look at some fours. They're licking the dew off the morning leaves. We need some changes in the bears and SRP. They need to get how they were before the updates. Jeremy, I'm assuming you're referring to their drink times. Correct? Is that sort of your thing? And I do agree. I think they should be drinking a little earlier in the morning. They're early risers and they set their routines through the day. But early morning and early evening is when you're going to find the most active. The decision for the rearrange came at a point where I'm just going to be straight with this. When our designers look at a reserve and they're looking at home ranges and they're looking at need zone times, they have to be careful with overlap. And hence the change we first saw with the Great One Bears and the Mountain Lions. The Mountain Lions were overlapping with them and it created a little bit of havoc for those trying to get on the grind with them. Now that they don't quite overlap, they do a touch still, but now that they're definitely more huntable now. The thing is, I guess what I hear the complaints on is they're drinking when it's dark and folks aren't really enjoying the night hunt. We don't have a lot of options to explore as far as night vision and stuff goes. Maybe that's something we'll see in the future, but the here and now, I know it's maybe not as desirable as it was at some point, but without, when you move one, you have to move another, and there's very limited moves in which can be made. That move was something that the devs did because the community was really asking, and they wanted to make it easier than it was. It's certainly better than it was, but I agree. There definitely should be maybe a little look-see at that. That's my humbled opinion, and I don't want to throw anyone on our team under the bus. It would definitely improve the hunt on them. Having said that, a couple juicy Great One Bears lately in the community. Yeah. Okay, what are we doing? Where did I even shoot this guy? I don't even remember. Hit. What am I seeing? Is there a pronghorn? Just behind them hills? And I can't see him through the grass. Oh, Joe Curl, thank you, my friend. I love to hear that. Crow, what's up, brother? We were out sailing the seas the other day. We were pirating together. Where did I shoot this other guy? Let's just take a look on here. All right, dog. Oh, I see lung butter. There, the lung butter makes bison better, baby. Okay, go ahead and hit that track. Love to hear that, my friend. Love to hear that. And hey, if you enjoy the content, I am a creator that's how I came to this game. But we're here every Tuesday and we have some incredible creators I would highly urge you to check out. Look at that. I'm trying to pick that up. I'm getting the mule. It's like the game knows, right? I have more mule than anything. So, okay. All right, dog, do work. But yeah, I love, this is why I love these streams when the dust and the smoke clears and we can get down to the nitty gritty and get some real solid feedback in like that. Thank you, Zombie. By the way, you're crushing it out there, brother. You absolutely are. One of our incredible grinders in the community. You can find him over on Twitch. Bears are fine as they are. Snail Eye, and see, there you go. And there's the thing. A lot of folks are happy with the changes, and this is where it's hard for us. It's hard to make changes when dog, what are you doing? I may need to restart. All right, let's go ahead and do this old school. Track him ourselves. He's probably just laying up in a head over here. He hasn't gotten too far, but a good bleed on that one. No worry, Matowski. What's up, my friend? Good to see you, sir. They say for every bison lung butter, bison steak, and burgers will soon come. Mr. McPain, I am with you on all pages. Hey, let's face it, man. If you guys ever had bison, like it's everywhere now. You get a good bison burger. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me right now? It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Hold on. I'm trying to do stuff and things here. There we go. There we go. Let's take a look at this bad boy. He was just a 3. Did get a gold out of him. So now we should be able to explore a little more here. Let's look at the true score. There it is. This is what has just got me with this. And I think we can all agree what a great upgrade this is. Look at the ribbing. Look at this. Look at the changes in the tones. Like, I would put that on my wall. That is incredible. When you really start to pay attention to the tip to tip, the overall spread, and then you look at the circumference, you start to get a feel on what these true racks have done. It's really neat. It's cool when you get a true. Look at the modeling. Just love it, man. Love it. Very should be difficult. Just make them show up the zones on. Just make them show up the zones on time. Well, and bears, they're creatures of habit. IRL. They're actually quite slow moving around the bush. They meander. And remember, need zones are a time that you have spotted one there. It doesn't mean that they're going to come in at that time. There is a certain randomness to the movements in our species now. We've seen that iteration over the while, right? Need zones are a suggestion and not as needed as one may think. Okay, 157.76 is just barely made gold, but for a 3, we're not going to throw stones. I'm kind of digging it. I'm not too upset about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the inspect. Can't really get any better. I think we're getting a better look on that. Now, this guy doesn't have it, but you'll see some of the separation as they get bigger. We'll see if one of those 4s wants to present lung and what we can do with it. Let's go ahead and grab that bad boy. Have you come out yet? Have you? Did I run you guys off? We may jump areas and we'll run time a little bit here, but let's see if we can get eyes through the woods. You can get right up close and personal with these guys. They'll awesome. I mean, it is awesome, but they'll often go aggressive on you, which is fun. They'll go aggressive if you shoot their bow. You know, the females especially seem to be real salty that way, and they'll take a run at you from a couple hundred meters away. These are one of the few species that will go to that extent, but they are great grumpy in comparison. You know what? Honestly, you're not wrong. Why are the streams only an hour long? Well, that's it's late right now in Sweden, which is where our home base is. We try to. I'm in Canada land, so like I'm in Vancouver. Sorry, some things are just autopilot for me. Canada, and it's hard to. Our team likes to be present for the streams. I know 1 hour is typically not enough. I do feel that. But you can find a lot of streams, mine included, on Twitch and on YouTube. But we have some incredible creators. In fact, some of them are live right now that are out there, and they're absolutely crushing it. Honestly, I think it's one of the things that makes this game so unique. I'm going to move down here and let these guys kind of move around a little. But it's the involvement from the community with the creators. And just what they all get up to. You know, I love seeing it. Big push on different things at different times. Some creators like to focus on certain diamonds, and diamonds still, they pack that punch. And especially some of the The diamonds that you don't see as often. But then there's that focus on grinding, and people are after great ones, which is pretty cool to get into. Super rares, there's really no way to help a rare. There's not much you can do. It's completely rolling the dice, which is one of the things that's so great about them. I get excited whether it's a male or a female. It's just something very, very cool to see on your map. Can I look at your message? What did I miss, Zach? What did I miss, brother? Hunters hunt, streamers grind. Not entirely true. Not entirely true. I'm about the authentic hunt. I like to go out and really get into it. I've done grinds, obviously, but I'm really big into just getting out there and feeling the hunt, experiencing the species. They all have their own specific traits in game, different difficulties. They react differently. Some go aggressive differently. Some of them they got a better sense of smell, and it's fun to play with that and to highlight that. But I'm not shy to jump on a grind. Actually, another good example is like Flinner. Flinner, absolutely, he can grind, but he's a hunter, born and bred, much like myself. He loves to just get out there and absolutely get after it. He does some fun stuff too. You all know who I'm talking about. I don't need to be plugging everybody, but I'll tell you, I think we're very unique with the creators we have in this game. All right, these guys are going to come in. Let's actually just be patient for a minute. We don't have a caller available. There's no caller for these bad boys. But if we get them nice and close, we could take one and then maybe dance with one or two. I want to thank you for that huge offer. Oh, Zach. Hey, my pleasure, brother. Absolutely my pleasure. Big part of the community, dude. Anything. We have Mississippi Acres, but we have a Florida map. It's possible. Honestly, Selko, what tended to happen was there was a voice in the community that started, honestly, I'm just going to be straight. I'm just going to tell it as is. Started complaining there was too many North American maps. I'm not really on that page, only because they change so drastically, so differently, depending where you go. I think there's more in North America that needs to be explored. But again, our devs are very much on the page of, hey, let's give the folks what they want. So I would think that, we saw Emerald Coast because of that, which was a great addition. Maybe we're going to see another European or even a Scandinavian or an Asian map/reserve come out next. Listen to these guys. Give it all the old mating call. This is getting a little dangerous with this one right here. We might just line up. In fact, we will. We'll give him a couple and then get ready for anything coming in. You want to dance? I will spray you. Because I hit the wrong button all the time. He's gone aggressive. And this is what I love about these. It's so unpredictable. What are you? You're a 2. All right, let's go. Wah, wah, wah. Sizing each other up. And if you haven't done this in game, it's exhilarating. But we're not going to give you the chance. We're just going to get it done. With oh wow, you are really getting frosty. Okay, ma'am, please lay down. Thank you for your cooperation. Don't get too close too early. Those things will still smack you for a little HP. Tomatoes look like Bentang, the fox drink in the salt water. Is that intended? Yes. And that comes down to home range and available water sources. When you think about it, so are the fallow and the red deer along the river. I understand. We can only be so accurate with what we have to work with, and still keep everything in those. So there is a little bit of forgiveness on some of that. I agree. I agree. I know that was a little conversation for a while when it first came up. Gonna silver off the female. I mean, that's nice to see, right? I would love to see a nice, big, juicy gold female. But hey, let's take a look at those true racks. Again, you don't get that same ribbing, but you really have that nice coloration on it there. The detail's phenomenal. Detail's just phenomenal with it. Looking at the tip-to-tip 12.4 and a 24.46 on the base. Let's compare that to that 4 we're going to go pick up. A level 2 female with a 24.3 on the base. 24.4 on the base circumference. Let's go ahead and grab that. Let's run over and take a look at this bad boy. She does want some of that beer, little night. It's like I use a whiskey flavoring. It's It's actually it's cola whiskey. It's called by a company called Lit. I love it. Smells so good. My dogs try to, and my wife try to take the big sniff all the time. It's got a real unique smell. So I wouldn't be surprised. That's what they're chasing down. All right, let's take a look here. You got a gold. A 168's a good sized boy, actually, for a 4. You really feel that these guys can make diamond, right? You really feel that. I haven't seen any yet from the community. I'm curious. I also have not looked up on their scoring to see. I haven't inquired, but I'd be very interested. This guy's going to have it, and there it is. As the ribbing moves up, like, look at that. And look at the circumference on the base. The difference in girth is astounding. 24.4 to 29.3. I mean, if you were to put your hands around that IRL, you'd really, really feel the difference. And this is what the True Rack brings. I love this addition to any species. Good, the beard of the bison. Oh my goodness. Oh, so Rebel, I love that. Yes, and that is something that is a... I'm sorry, I can't shake this cough. That is something I know our designers strive for, is to create multiple ways to play. You can make this one of the most realistic hunts by adjusting your HUDs. Like, there's lots. If you haven't tried it, it's difficult, but you can do it. You can make it challenging in the sense that maybe you want to focus on one species, whether it's big or small you're after. I love seeing those halls of shame that some of you have sent me. I've seen some of the pictures of the hall of shame, the little boys, right? Someone sent me one that was very unique. It was all the smallest males and the biggest females. It was kind of a cool setup I had seen. And then we've got grinding as another way to go, which is pretty cool, you know. And we've got the authentic hunt. You know, have you guys tried the drives? They still work. There's certain maps that are better suited for it. Maybe that's something we could do with the community one day on here together. It's a shooting gallery. Yeah, kind of cool. So there we go. This is what I really wanted to take a close look at. It's all the ribbing and how this it looks like to compare to a deer, like it's coming out of velvet. It's shedding. It sheds. Like it's so cool. So cool. All right, let's go and take a look a little closer on here. And that's what I love. So this is a big 4, right? If you haven't seen the 5s, lots of great ones. I guess I can't say great ones. That sounds like I am not giving a hint. That is not meant to be. I know you guys jump all over because I'm often trying to give hints. That was not a hint. That was just I stumble over my tongues and make sure I'm not saying something wrong. But it's truly, let's use a different word, amazing. Like some of the amazing big boys that are out there. If you want to see those big 5s, I know I've seen a few VODs from some of our creators. A lot of folks are having a hard time getting off of EC. But when you see some of this, and look at the lighting on it, man. Sorry, it just tickles. It tickles. Now, what we're going to start to look at more is the 338 and how it crush-a-lots. Look at that. We went in through some real thick meat, and we punched right through the lung and into the liver. We made it quiver. Let's play around with that. Let's go see. We should have a few more up here, and then we'll bounce to another area. A Balkan map or a Bosnia map. That would be pretty cool, actually. Comes to any maps, they can be good, but they have to have new species. Just can't be the same animals in a different landscape. That's where the problems come from. And I get that. I get that. And there it comes down to, there's only so many species to hunt in the world. And I guess the focus on popular species isn't always the way to go, because there's hunts that we're not involved in yet. I've never hunted in, and we talked about Japan a while back. I've never hunted anywhere really in Asia, and I think there's a big opportunity there. But you know, as far as North America and Europe, we've covered a lot of, so you do see, you know, some similar species making reappearances. I get that, Hatcha. Wise words, brother. You're absolutely right. Hunting in the Amazon is frowned upon. It is. And especially lately, there's a lot of attention on the Amazon with deforestation that's happening. All these different farms going in and such. That may be a tough one. You know, we can certainly be creative, as you saw with Australia. This is why we keep saying it's a map, not a reserve. Because were we to get, you know, really granular on species and how they're all together, it's very hard to place that geographically. So we then, you know, put it to more of a theory context. We add it to private land. And if we say it's private land, well, then we could do more. Like, I like to think of, and I think it'd be a really cool idea. And it's been talked about here on these streams and throughout the community. Zach, sorry, keep reading these little comments. They make me chuckle. And that's like a Texas game ranch, a high wall ranch. Would be pretty cool. There's so many species in Texas because everything's bigger in Texas, including the budget to ship in animals. And I think, you know, the story you could put behind that would be kind of unique, right? It would be kind of unique, and you could literally, I mean, anything's possible there. You could put a zebra in Texas and explain it through a story, and it would be, in my mind, acceptable, right? So yeah, the team is very open to ideas, and they're open to concepts. They have some really good ideas, and obviously it's way too early to talk about what's coming in the far, far future, but holy, I love the direction. I think you guys will too. Okay, so they're not hanging around. Let's go bounce over here. We got plenty of time. They drink from 8 till noon, which is what I'm targeting right now. We could have started earlier. They're just as visible. I was going to say feasible and visible. Visible. They're just as feasible to hunt in the feeding times, because they kind of mill about. You catch them on the hillside. So I could have started this hunt early. If you're interested in going out and getting involved to see what sort of true racks you can find, like Pokemon, collect them all. Like, I'm serious. There's some really cool variations you can get. You could actually work in, instead of changing the time so much, start at, what is it, 5 o'clock, guys? Without checking sheets, I think it's 5 a.m. they start on their eating. Apologies. Stupid cough. Takes a moment to recover. What are we doing? Are we on a track? We're on a track, aren't we? Oh no, did I actually see something there? I did. It's the prongies. Okay, sometimes you do get bison down over here. We could go take a peek, but I'm gonna head up over here first and see what's happening up in these lakes. I don't like to go too close to the lake, because you get them in amongst those trees, you get them off to the side, split the middle, and right up there. Texas would be one of our only chances of hunting the massive mill guy. I don't even know what that is, my friend. I love this community. I learn stuff every day. I'm going to go look that up after stream. Very, very cool. It's like a challenge. I love it. I don't think you're technically allowed to hunt saltwater crocs in Australia, are you? And so therein, again, lies the rub of the private land, right? A ranger play style will be nice to have for people who want others to have a good hunting experience in their maps. Ultimate Sim. Elaborate. You have my attention. That's a cool idea. Arrows over. Hello, welcome. Nice to have you with us. We need an actual Canadian map. We don't have any yet. Yeah, an actual Canadian map. Because we kind of do. We kind of do. Where I'm hunting right now this is what it looks like where I hunt for my whitetail camp. Although it's often white at that time of year, depending if we're there at the end of whitetail or beginning. It's a tough one. But and then Layton is that's where I hunt. A place called Merritt, Boston Bar, and all around there. It's very unique. But you're right, something uniquely Canadian. And I suppose when we say that, when we think that, we're thinking probably more like Northern Yukon, Arctic, that sort of thing, right? That's kind of where I think the community mind goes when we say a Canadian map, because you know, most of where we hunt is more like this, but that would be very, very cool. I think of Classic, great game, by the way, some really cool stuff coming up in the Hunter Classic. If you like that uber realism, it's awesome. Winter Rime is a great example, and I would love just copy and paste that into here, man. What's the difference between a map and a reserve? Carson, great question. So I like to use Emerald Coast as an example on that. It's the first time we've really differentiated map or reserve, and that's because the concept of it was based off of private land. It enables us to do things that maybe aren't quite what you could do all in one area on, say, like crown land or, you know, that sort of thing. So private land gives you that ability, and you know, we're cautious. We're cautious on what we do. Let's face it. You know, everyone knows this is a game, but there are groups that watch what's out there, and we always try to promote, you know, ethics in hunting, because it's a big part of hunting. I think all of you hunters out there will agree. Truly, hunters are we're the keepers of the woods, man. Really, really are. But we're easily vilified. So it's nice to have those distinctions. Kind of sort of Canadian, but not really. Need muskox and oh yeah, MD. Can you imagine? So like Greenland would be really cool. Greenland would be very, very cool. And I only know I got into Greenland because there was talks of me and my boy TK were kind of talking loosely at one point of maybe trying to make something happen there. And holy, what a lineup that would have too. A great one, polar bear. That'd be wild. Yeah, that'd be wild. Welcome, Lucas. At what point? I need timestamps. Jackson, do you think we'll get crocodiles added to Virhonga? What's up, man? What's up, Sarah? You know, honestly, I think that's a prime candidate for backfill, right? Now, let me just state, there is actually a fair bit of work that goes into backfilling a map. And so these things need to come at a time when the team is able to free up the resources to do so. I know it's very popular to get backfills in there. We all love it. We absolutely love it. But there's lots of considerations with the backfill, and it can greatly change the feel of a map, of a reserve, of that hunt. So because it like, I'll be straight, there's only so many animals that you're gonna get into. Hi, dung gum. Did he smell me? Did he see me? Where are you? The downside to having all your graphics up, right? You know, but it's immersive, baby. Yeah, you flee. Everybody flee. Having your graphics and everything all up, you get the really big, all the grass stands up in your way. Could look at a little 2, I guess, hey? A 3? He actually looks like he's got a little bit different of a rack there. Let's take a look-see. Some of them, they get really cool slants on the angles of the horns coming out. But nothing's jumping out at me here. I was really hopeful I would find something funky to show you guys. Now, again, if you're following our creators in the community, chances are you've already seen some of that funkiness. Let's actually give this guy a little love. Did that get into his lung? Did that first shot not land? I don't believe it did. Nor did that. And we are out of bullets. Is anything else moving? Nothing else. Oh, there was something fun. Come on, trees, get out of my way! Oh, I think we did land one, but that was on like a quartered angle. That's no good. That's no good. And therein lies the video game aspect of hunting. I would never do that IRL. Say, allow creative license, Jackson. What's that? Soul Rebel, what? I think I'm missing something out of context there. I live in Northern Canada. A lot of the animals we hunt are already in game. I go someplace that's completely new, like Asia or something like that. I hear you. I hear you, Canuck. And therein lies the risk you run. A lot of people think, oh, that sounds great, but is it what the overall community is asking for? Right? And I think we're at a point in our game where I personally I'd like species that I'll never get a chance to hunt. You know, chances are slim that I'll ever get a chance to hunt. Oh, we didn't get anything good on any of those boys. Terrible state of affairs. Well, and there's the difficulty to hunt these guys, man. One bad shot and you see it just doesn't go well. We need a really small male and a big female. But that's it. That's it. It didn't do it. Okay, well, let's keep moving. We're not walking into that viper den. Like those trees, they jumped out of nowhere. Man alive. Lacey, what's happening? Good to see you. What's going down, K-Flow? Welcome, my friend. Welcome. I have a strange idea. What if seasonal changes ran? Oh, that's not strange, Drake. That's not strange. That's a fantastic idea that honestly is a momentous task. I can tell you that just from when they added the cloud physics, just from when they added the changing of weather like in Yukon, to add seasons to the game, oh my goodness, it would be game changer. But I don't know if that's something the team could viably take on. I suppose if there was enough requests for it. But yeah, you're on point, my friend. That's a topic of conversation that's been running for some time between the community. I've seen the team talk about it. Something we'd love to do, to have that feeling. Could you imagine? Let's just roll with this for a second, my friends. Okay. Could you imagine coming out on a hunt early fall and having super aggressive hungry bears, but not being able to take the deer? Like, oh my goodness. Oh, I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to get into it because the whole ideas behind it are just mind blowing. Now you're talking the rut. So all of this would need to go along with seasons realistically. Otherwise, it's just a change in weather. And what does it do? Is there enough return for your time? Right? Like our team is at a point where they want to really make the best improvements, bring the best additions. So it all needs to jive. Seasons would definitely be one of those, but there's so much that would have to go with it. I think you'd agree, right? Could you imagine? Okay, I can't help it. I'm sorry. It's the hunter in me, the gamer in me starts running away with thoughts like that. Truly great ideas to be explored there. As you can tell, you hit a sweet spot for me. I just love the idea of seasons. We got a nice looking 4 over there. Look at the curl on him. That is a very nice looking 4. We're gonna do our best to get an angle. Look at that. She knew we were lining him up. You saw that, right? Setting up blockers. I think that would be the third the hunter came. Yeah, it would take a while for something like that, I would think. Map wish list would be Northern Canada, Asia, another South America. Another South America would be nice. Yeah. I'm with you on that. What do we got going on? Got a 3. Okay. Nothing I missed. Oi. That is not. Yeah. Okay. We'll just bleat them a little bit and see what happens. I really want that 4 right there. Look at that. That looks good, man. That looks good. So we're ways off. They can't hear us. We're just gonna work our way around and see if we can churn up some lung butter. It would be nice if you can select the multiplayer and then the season you want to hunt. That would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. It would just be a cosmetic thing at that stage. And really, how would the draws be? Maybe there's something further to explore with, like, you have to remember, if you bring something and it feels incomplete, this is the internet. You will hear about it. This is a great quarter right here. We're gonna land right in that sweet spot and really get that lung butter. Okay, let's move in. Have I had my fallow gray one? I have not even gone after them. I'm hoping that that'll be a focus on some of my own streams in the future. I'm gonna do a little fallow grind because I do want one. The fallow, they look bloody amazing. But I haven't had the time, and things have been a little crazy. And it's summer right now, so we have a place at the ranch in the States. It's just over the border. It takes us like an hour to get there, and it's heaven on earth. Speaking of heaven on earth, ooh, say your prayers, baby. That's it. That's a nice. We'll have lung butter on the ground. Let's see what else is running out here. Now, we could easily take another one right now, too. But another nice thing about hunting the bison, like, you could just... They don't pay a ton per kill. But, you can just mow through them if you're looking for something fun and exciting. But still, keep it in line with the hunt. What up, Joe? About movie Joe. How are you, my friend? I haven't talked to you in ages. Oh, Carson, congrats, man. Hey, those mountain lions, they're a lot of fun, dude. Season would be a massive undertaking to increase render. It would most likely... Oh, right, yeah. Don't get your hopes up on the render neither at this stage of the game. That would be a huge overhaul. But the team does know that it's something that is greatly asked. No, we're on SRP right now, Outer Worlds. Good guess, though. Very similar looking fauna and such. Yeah, no, great spot for, in fact, heading down in amongst the marshlands there. One of my favorite spots for hunting bison in this game, period. Oh, wow. Yuletide Carol. That's awesome. That's a big boy. Those bed tags are fun, aren't they? But difficult to multiplayer times to show without going into session on PS4. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I know that it's been something that's been asked about over the years. I know it was addressed at one point. I'd have to dig a little deeper into that. Yeah, I would. Looking for the lung butter. Lung butter makes bison better. Okay, let's go ahead and see where this big boy takes us. Look at this. See what I'm saying about, like, you don't need to just work drink times. Feet times gives you a real nice stand-up. I'm just saying. Game tags within the old Cabela games of Deer Hunter 2005. Just have seasons, but it isn't realistic aside from aesthetics. I feel you, my friend. I feel you. Man, I love those old Cabela games. I actually thought that, were we ever to see something like elephants come to the game, it could be done through a similar system. You get one tag a week. Really make it count. Could you imagine if you were limited like that? And just to tie in more with the realism in the real world, it's completely legal. It's just very regulated to go and hunt them. And that was the way I had thought that you could do it. But you could do that with a lot of different species. Limited time events. There's definitely something to be explored there with the use of tags. I like that idea a lot. I really do. Something I've talked about a fair bit. I like it. Server's been discussed already, but my PS4 still kicks me out after the hotfix. Is my game just gone forever? Is there something I can do? I should talk about this. I absolutely should. This has been a very, very hard one for the team and those affected. There was an issue that thankfully it wasn't widespread, but again, I like to really implore this. If it happens to one person, it gets, and it has happened. It got a lot of attention from our QA, and the devs were leaning in. Everyone was trying to get it dialed in. There was a chance of a save file going corrupt on PlayStation, and it was the big save file. So if you had lodges all done out, there was a chance it could happen. And if it did happen, if you were unable to, that hot fix prevents it from happening in the future. If the save file corrupted, there was just no way we could do anything about it. I'll tell you, lots of sleep was lost on that one. It was a nail biter, and our team, our QA, tried everything they could possibly do. But unfortunately, when things go corrupt, there's only so many options you have. Nice thing with PlayStation, and if you're not doing this, you absolutely should, is you can back up your saves. just like you can on PC. Backing up your saves is so important in any video game where you're trying to hold on to a progression. If we had known about this sooner, I would have been here telling you all about it. And again, you know, we took that one to heart. We really did. Okay, so, well, on that note, let's take a look here. We have a decent size 4. By the looks of it, he's a 181. He almost made freaking diamond. That's just wild, man. Wild, Teak. What's going down? Kate, welcome back then. You haven't played in ages. Oh, the lighting has changed. Depending on how long it's been since you've been here, we've seen changes to the water, all the fur variations. Just the lighting changes made a massive difference. We just got true racks on these bad boys. Look at this, man. Isn't that insane? Now, interesting, right? Interesting how they change. Not a lot of ribbing on this one. But look how big it is. It was that close. Missed it by that much from a diamond. That is crazy. Level 4 with a big old base of 27. Now, we had that other guy had a base of 29, that level 4, and he didn't score as high as this. I'd be interested to compare those two. Very symmetrical in our left and rights, but our tip-to-tip spread at 15.9. I would think the tip-to-tip would have been different, and certainly through the different quarters would have added up differently to give us that overall 181.81. I feel like that is some sort of lucky number. Man alive. What's up, Mel? How's it going? How are you today? Sorry. Okay. So yeah, not too shabby. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if this will be popular opinion, but I'm just going to say it. I think this is one of the best transition to true racks we've seen yet. I truly do. From a more realistic point of view, like, I don't know. I need a little more time on it, but very, very impressive. Let's take it. My dog's name is Phyla. It's an ode to Flinter and Kyla. I love it. I think the harvest screen should have more brightness. Good feedback. Jackson, I got a question about how achievements and trophies, when progressing through the game's storyline, I think this should be trophies and achievements for the console for the new maps and DLCs. I know there's a limit on what you can do, on how many achievements can be added. I know other games have struggled with this, and I would say that when you consider how many there were at the inception of this game, when it was first put together, to what we see now. Oh, actually, I should run up the hill. What time is it in game? I would say there's a consideration to what's coming in the future and what we have left, because you can never take away something you've given. And I don't want to say there wasn't foresight, but perhaps there wasn't the foresight that this game would become so popular and see so many additions. So I think that were we to ever consider remastering Call of the Wild or make another hunting game or whatever that could look like from a company perspective down the road, that we would consider spreading those achievements and such out. But I do hear you. I know what you're saying. Oh my goodness. What's that? Oh no, you do not know. If your file has gone corrupt, you just simply need to start a new save game. But I urge you to please make backups of your save, and for other games too. You don't lose once you've bought a DLC. You don't lose it. Same with just starting over. A lot of people have asked me this because I've started over a ton of times. I love that beginning grind. I love that progression. I really do. I enjoy it. Unlocking things, how difficult a hunt is on something until you get the proper gear. I'm also big on collars, making use of those collars. So pre-collar hunts if you're trying to really, you know, hunt. I almost said properly. It's not properly because there's any way to hunt is proper. Hunt more of the authentic hunting style like you would IRL. Did I say that right? I was going to watch how I say things. I think you would find a more... Oh. Did you guys just get feedback there? I had my Go XLR just spiked. No, we're good. Test. Okay. I've been having an issue with the connection on the back of my Go XLR. Apologies, I derailed myself. Be sure to pick up your animals. They won't respawn if you don't... Oh, respawn. I mean, that just comes down to the ethical side of hunting, and you know that we are ethical in our approach. Stands to reason you should pick them up. I know they're having a 2 overpowered rifle, but just to say that the 50 BMG was added because of its power, it was just a single shot. I mean, that'd be wild, right? You know, could you imagine? That'd be cool. Gonna start over in December. I feel your pain. Oh, thank you for the reminder. That's what I was gonna say, having to start over. So I've done a lot of voluntary restarts. I just, as I said, I like that beginning grind. When you restart in the game, you always keep your trophy lodge progression. You don't lose that. You don't lose the DLCs you've bought. That's tied to your account. So that's just to set a lot of folks' mind at ease. Oh, wow. Victory Lane Sports, not bad. Cruising. Got the sweet 6.5 millimeter skid today. Finished the Quadricletus missions. Nice, double E. Nice. Yeah, fun gun, that little 6.5. I dig it. Shouldn't say little. Hey. Ma'am, sir, you. No. If I had a shotgun, although I do like the turkey skeets, I ain't gonna lie, it's fun lining them up as they fly through the trees. But we're getting somewhat close to where I want to be, although that probably wouldn't have alerted it. What is the most distance rifle? Well, render, depending on your platform and your graphics settings, render is roughly 420 to 450. Again, depending where you have your settings at, that can go up and down a little, not a whole lot. So, you know, you could take any rifle in the game and shoot out to that. Some have different zeroing capabilities and effective ranges. For instance, you know, if like you can absolutely crack off with the 338, the 300, the 7mm at 300 and get real good penetration. But there isn't like long range shooting per se. There isn't a big focus on that because of our render limitations. But it kind of works anyways. This is a big debate in the IRL hunting circles, is what distance is ethical to shoot at. And it's generally agreed that closer is better, but what is better for closer? With a rifle, 200 meters seems to be the general consensus. Over 200 meters, they you know, you'll have the arguments from folks that, well, it's not as ethical because the wind comes into play. You know, bullet drop comes into play. How much time do you have putting those downrange, and can you, you know, confidently, ethically take that animal? Because, you know, as a hunter, you know, we would never take running shots like this. Well, some folks do, but you know, the ethical sense, you have to pick your shot and you wait for that animal typically to stop, right? In an IRL setting. So that all kind of piles into the long range conversation, you know. It's not like that, Hosen. It's not about you just get good. It's not that at all. It's because you are judged by your peers, and ethical is what is deemed by the community around you, so to speak, right? I got a buddy, he's a long range shooter. He likes to bring his animals into that 200 meter mark. He's the first one to say it's not ethical, but like, he's a marksman. It's like, okay. But when you're shooting a target or you're shooting a live target, it's two completely different things. Really not a conversation you're ever going to see present in a video game setting. But we do have a lot of hunters here, and it's always fun to discuss, right? So I haven't been here since the home range rework, and that's why I'm here now. I wanted to take a look. I know, I hear you. Oh, the RMEs are so much fun here, but I used to just be swamped by bison here, and it looks like since the home range is that I have not poked around. Hello, ma'am. I saw you peeking up there. She's down here in her feed times. Once again, I implore you, don't just stick to drink times. That goes for our grinders too, right? You were talking about the bear grinds earlier. Explore some of their times. We do plan to prove that multiplayer mode, we miss real cooperative modes or even XP sharing or shared story missions we miss. Now what? So we've never had an XP sharing per se, unless you have tag on an animal and someone else has tag, in which case, you know, you get a little bit each, that sort of thing. Is that what you're referring? Multiplayer is a tough one. The game was never designed with multiplayer in mind, so it was added afterwards, and it is set as a peer-to-peer. So it's not a consistent experience, as if you're lagging out from your host, or your host is lagging out, or anyone in your session is lagging out, it affects everybody. Goofy things can happen with the animals, shots not registering, stuff like that, right? You guys, well, we're here now, and it's end of stream, and I don't have another bison in front of me. Let's reach out with the 22-250 and see if we can get a little lung butter before we go. We'll keep this one zeroed in at 300. Give it a little bit of something in the side. Let's see what that does. 22-250. It will put it down a little slower than I would like, but nonetheless reliable. Are squirrels coming to the game? Good question. Our grab was a sniper in Vietnam. He was also an avid hunter. His opinion was, if I can hit it and kill it, then it's a clean kill. I know that's a hot issue, but there are hunters out there who have that belief, and I fully agree. And I don't fault them. There's people that are a way better shot than me. I'll put that out there right now. But it's you have to be confident that you can hit it, right? I think we'd all agree on that. Animals should never suffer. Never, ever, ever. I see the motif has changed here. I ain't gonna complain about it. Might have to do a little poke around. TA. That is a strange one. Now, I have heard a couple people talk about that. Typically in a multiplayer setting. If that is in a single player setting, what I would recommend, if you haven't already, is to submit a ticket. It's how we can track things and action on things. And they may ask you for some information, you know, your platform, you know, right down to like overlays to, I mean, all kinds of stuff, you know, the like time of day, what reserve, what weapons, et cetera, because there's lots of things that can affect it. So let's go ahead and track this real quick. We are running over. Dog, you better do work right now, man alive. Earn your kibble. You grind on one map with a certain animal, does it stop and you start again if you grind the same animal on another map? Each map has its own persistent population, and being on another map will not affect a map you have just left. That map basically sits in stasis until the next time you come in. In other words, the animals are not freely moving around out there. I hear you. Man, you know, you make me wanna shoot, throw my gun up and shoot. Okay, let's just go ahead and pick this up. Yukon's great for grizzly. Yeah. Oh, have fun on Yukon. There's some really good spots there too. Let's take a look and see if we, I was hoping for at least the gold, but big silver. We're going to have to take that. And with that, my friends, that's another hunting lodge in the bag. Some good feedback today, some good questions. I really appreciate you guys coming out and chatting with us and letting, you know, giving me that feedback, making these streams not just fun to hang out and to get to know everyone else in the community and each other, but also to be able to touch base on some things that, you know, I know we're over time, but I just want to talk about it. I talk about the power of community a lot. You know, you'll see often surveys. I'll ask you questions. You know, we're looking for input because when I say we're community driven, we are. And we want the community not just to be involved, but we want to make the game the community wants to play. If it wasn't for the game, none of us would be here. Right? We hold no illusions. So get involved. Make sure first off, the Discord is really the hub. It's where we have been able to create this information sharing, this like real-time reporting when there's an issue. The first thing we do is we go to Discord. We get feedback, honest feedback. We can see who's been affected by it, and we can share right away. And it spreads out from there. But also for your ideas and your thoughts and your genuine feedback. It really means the world to all of us. And we just want to get better and better as we go. And that's hinged on all of us, communicating as best we can. So come get involved. Join the Discord, the Facebook group, 2 incredible groups with some great hunters. Make sure you're following on all the socials. We might have some news to share reasonably soon. And you've seen we're doing things a little bit differently. So be the first to know. Make sure you're following us on all of those goodness. Thank you all for coming to join us. Don't forget to go and support your creators. They're an incredible bunch out there trying to do what you want to do and to create their own communities to be part of our larger community. And that is what makes it so great. My name's Jaxie Beard. I will see you again next week. Actually, I'll see you tomorrow if you want to come and join me for some fishing. There's some really exciting stuff happening in the anglers soon, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Good day fishing tomorrow. And I will catch you guys really, really soon, man. I don't even want to hit the end button. I'd rather just keep going. But we got to make it happen, Cap. Until next time, my friends. That's a good point. Let me just, before I hit the end button, the Soul Rebels brought up there. When you join the Discord, you have to select your roles. If you're there for Call of the Wild, select the Call of the Wild role. You'll see all of the Call of the Wild channels. Same thing if you're there for the Hunter Classic. You select the Classic, you'll see all of those. Very important. Otherwise, you'll just get the announcements, which, hey, isn't so bad. It lets you know when to come hang out with us here. See you tomorrow, my friends.